our Northern Ruckus family. Welcome to the show. Another episode. We have the very talented content creator, one of Canada's best, TRESOR.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm chilling, I was a little sick the last few days, but I've been good now. Don't worry, anybody in the room. I'm not infectious or nothing.
No COVID, nothing like that?
Nah.
I got you. So where'd you make the trip from today? You're from Mississauga?
Yeah, I'm in Saga.
That's where you grew up?
Yeah.
What was it like? Tell me, like, you have like a musical background and all that?
Kind of, but not really. I was actually telling my friend recently, like my mom, because my mom's Jamaican, but
Yeah,
my
I was
mom's one of
definitely gonna
those.
ask that. You got a lot of Jamaican bangers,
Yeah.
right?
My mom's one of those like rare Jamaican people who, like, my mom doesn't really listen to music.
Really?
Like, if we're in a car, she wants it to be silent. Like, she just doesn't like noise.
Jeez.
Just in general. So I never really got it from her, but like some of my aunties and my uncles and stuff, they play music. They're listening to Barris Hammond and all like the old school Jamaican stuff.
Yeah.
And then the other side of my family is African. Like my dad's side of the family is Congolese.
Okay.
So they're really, really like music all the time.
Okay.
So that's where I kind of get like the Afro beats, dancehall type of vibe from. But I always listened to music like kind of like everyone else did, you know? So
Yeah.
I did like piano lessons when I was younger and stuff. And I started like producing maybe when I was like 19. I dabbled in it maybe when I was 16, but I couldn't really figure it out. So I just left it alone. But yeah, I'd pretty much say that's kind of my musical
Yeah,
background.
and I mean, you kind of have like an odd skill set where you put the music with the content creation, with the acting, with the dancing and everything, you know? So you're very well-rounded, right? I was just wondering where a lot of it comes from, you know?
Yeah, I'd say it kind of comes from necessity, because I'd say at first, originally, like before everything, I just wanted to be an actor, like TV, movies. I was one of those kids that wanted to be on Disney Channel.
Okay.
So,
and that's from real young.
so that was like young, super young. And then I started playing basketball in like middle school to high school. So I was just focused on that, the hoop dream.
And you're pretty tall too, right?
Yeah, I'm like 6'2".
Yeah.
So
Were
I
you
was just
decent at ball?
I was all right. I was a role player at best, but I went to prep school, so like I was better than the average person,
Yeah.
you know. But like to get to where I wanted to be, I wasn't really that good. So kind of when I stopped, I kind of picked up content creating again, but I started because I wanted to be an actor, and I kind of felt like that was the easiest way to get myself seen. Because I didn't really know, especially back then, I didn't really know about how to get an agent and stuff like that. Even especially here, where it's not really a big thing. So I kind of started, and I started a while ago. I think I started making videos maybe 2012, 2011. Like,
Do you remember your first skit?
yeah, it was actually with my cousins on a different channel. Like, we tried to make a group channel. It's probably somewhere on the internet. I want to try to find it.
Yeah, we got to pull
And
it up.
I think it was something stupid like how to make a skit. It was like a parody video or something. So I think that was my first one. And then our second video was us reacting to the Raptors drafting, I think it was Terrence Ross. So it was like way back, something like that. So I think it was around then.
How many years we talking? How long ago was that? Because Terrence Ross, that's way back, like 2017, like even earlier, really.
It was probably, I don't know if it was Terrence Ross. It was someone. All I know is it was the 2012 draft. Whoever we drafted that year, it was that. And it was kind of right after, like I saw guys like that dude McFly and For Y'all, they started, and I kind of started right after that. A lot of people don't know I've been making videos since then because it didn't really blow back then. But if you check my YouTube, I have videos from like 10 years ago on there.
I mean, yeah, I was going through it a bit, and that's the thing. I was noticing that you have a lot of videos, and like, do you edit and upload everything yourself?
Yeah, for the most part. Sometimes my friends help me, but for a majority of the stuff that I've done, it's mainly been me.
Even back then, like when you were doing your first few videos and
Yeah,
everything?
Windows Movie Maker on an old busted up laptop with my mom's old camera, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that was mainly.
And how did your mom feel about you like getting into all this? Because I know a lot of like, you know, first generation, like are you first generation over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of first generations, they'll say like, you know, go to school and be a doctor, this and that. They don't really want you to pursue those dreams outside of that, right?
See, the thing with my mom was, I think because I was really into entertainment young, she didn't really mind it because she knew that's what I was kind of on already.
Yeah, it wasn't like
My
it came out
mom,
the blue, right?
she wasn't really with the basketball stuff. That was her thing. That she wasn't really on it.
Yeah.
According to her, she thinks that I didn't work hard enough, so she wasn't really, you know. She was like, "Bro, I don't see you working," and she wasn't wrong. Like, realistically, looking back on it, because I do have friends like I'm cool with Anthony Bennett and Tyler and a few of those guys. So like I saw what they had to do, and I'm like, yeah, this is probably not for me.
Yeah.
So when I started doing content again, she kind of allowed me because she saw that I was putting in the work and she saw that I was good, but she was still on the school stuff too. So I went to school, like I went to university.
Yeah.
I went to Guelph Humber, so I was doing content while I was in school, and school it gave me like that time to really figure my stuff out, because it wasn't like, I feel like sometimes if your situation permits it, I think school is a good idea, even just for the fact, because I hated school. I hated all of it.
Yeah.
But I finished it, one, like just for my mom, but also because it gave me time. Like I didn't want to work. I hated working. I had like a couple jobs here and there and I hated it.
Yeah, and no one's telling you got to go get a job while you're in school.
Exactly.
Right?
While you're in school, people might let you slide with not having a job. So I stayed in school. I was living off like my OSAP and the little money I was getting here and there from content, because I wasn't really making any money back then.
Yeah.
So by the time I finished college and I kind of at least had some footing in the game, and she saw that, she kind of just let me be.
Yeah. And where do you see this like all branching out into? Because like you said, you wanted to get into the acting and stuff, right? Like, do you still actively like go to casting calls and stuff like that? Or?
Not really. I had an agent a few years ago. I might try to dabble back in that soon, because I still definitely want to act. But I had an agent a few years ago, and I just didn't like the auditions that I was going on. It was stuff that didn't really make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because like, why am I 19 years old auditioning for a commercial about consolidating debt? Like, they're not gonna pick me. And even like, I would go to these commercials and I would do really good, and they would tell me that I'm doing really good, but they have a typecast that they're looking for. So no matter how good I do as a 19-year-old, if they're looking for a 35-year-old that looks like he has a family, I'm not gonna get it.
100%.
So I didn't like being in a position where my livelihood depends on other people's approval, and no matter how good I do, if I just don't fit the mold, I won't make it. I didn't really like that. So I kind of focused more on content, but that's definitely something I'm still trying to do this year. I'm really trying to get into my songwriting bag.
Because I was gonna say, we've talked about the songwriting before. Because I hear a lot of your stuff, like even I pull up like a lot of the Pop Smoke stuff, for example, right? And it's like you write exactly in his style. Like if Pop Smoke was around, you could easily write a song for him, you know. And there's a few more artists that you do that with as well. And it's just like, you know, I don't see why some of these people wouldn't want you helping them out, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I really just feel like, and this last trip that I took to LA over Grammy weekend really showed me the importance of just being in the room.
Yeah.
Because I met a lot of people that I had no idea knew who I was, but they're like, yeah, we've seen your stuff before and we like it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, I would have never known. So writing is definitely something that I've been trying to get into. And that even kind of fell out of nowhere, because I was making the videos just like parodies or this rapper be like and whatever, and then people were like, yo, you should really just
keep running with
try
it.
to do that.
So before that, you never really were too musical, or I mean, you had some songs and stuff, no?
Yeah, I've always been musically inclined, but I never really thought of it as a career path. I was mainly just acting.
Yeah.
And then I think the reason I even started making music in my skits was because I wanted to find a way to be original, because I knew like I'm not the funniest person, or I don't have the best scripts or whatever, but I was always kind of musically inclined. So I'm like, let me see if I can try and fit that in somewhere. So that's how like the Link My Tings came about, or the Raptor Foots and stuff like that. It's just me trying
And
stuff.
do you feel like you get a better reaction when it's fun and it's like a parody, like, you know, from those, than when you just drop like a song of your own type of thing?
Not necessarily, because one thing I've learned, because I think a lot of people that do content, especially a lot of YouTubers, will gain a following and then just try to rap and it might not work. I think the difference is, if people kind of don't really know you for that, like you do a 180, like say you just do pranks and then out of nowhere now you're making music, people are gonna be like, yo, that's weird.
Yeah.
But if people saw this in you and you make a good song, people are gonna rock with it. Like a bop is a bop.
Yeah.
So I know sometimes people say it's hard to get taken serious, but I don't really think so, because if you have a song that's good, then it's just a good song. And I'm not the type of dude where in any of the songs that I make, even the serious songs, it's not like I'm trying to portray like I'm this hard street dude or whatever.
Yeah.
So the content of the song is not unbelievable. It's just a regular song. So people would have no reason to dislike it if they like it. Like I have stuff that like does pretty good on streaming, and I barely ever post or like push and promote stuff.
Almost like it separately, right?
Yeah, it's almost like a separate thing. And I don't do that on purpose. It's just because I drop so much content, I don't really have time to promote stuff all the time.
And do you feel like that helps? Because like I know some people who are content creators, they might put out maybe one video a month, like, you know, one video every 3 weeks, but like you're posting stuff every day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you're really on it. Do you find that the keeping up, like you're putting out a lot of content, do you find that keeps people's attention span better?
It works for me. I know that there's a bunch of different methods of getting it done. And I also know people that are huge that barely post.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just my style, but I have so much ideas that I don't like just putting one thing out every couple weeks. That's just not my style. And I'm always filming, so I have a bunch of content that I always want to put out.
Yeah.
It's hot in here.
Is it?
God,
yeah, I mean, they got the heat going a little bit. I don't think I have too much control of it.
It's all good, though. It's all good.
Yeah, it is a little bit. But I was going to say, damn, what was I going to say?
My bad. I threw you out.
No, you're good.
You're tracks.
Good. You're good. With the content creation, though, do you find that there's a lot of people that are trying to get into that same lane as you? Like, you see that you inspire a lot of kids?
I've seen it. I've definitely seen it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with inspiration. And I will never, ever be that guy that would be like, yo, you stole my style, or yo, this is exactly. And I've seen people like completely like copy the exact same formula. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Because realistically, everyone gets inspired by somebody. And like, you know who you copied. So it's not really like I have no reason to be like, if I have confidence in myself. So even if you do the same thing that I do, it's not going to be the same. So I don't really mind if anyone does that. And I've taken bits and pieces of stuff from other people as well. So I feel like it's kind of hypocritical when people try to feel like they're the only person that can do something.
Little high horse, right?
Yeah.
Well, walk us through your process anyways. Like, because a lot of your stuff I notice is like, it seems like so spur of the moment. Like, you know, like, let's say like I'll get a little idea like that and I'll say something funny, but I don't go and put it down, right? Like I feel like some of your stuff is just little freestyles that you put out there. Like what's your process usually?
So just throughout life, like just throughout me living life, if I get an idea, I'll write it down like instantly. So I have probably a Google Docs sheet with like thousands of ideas.
For everything or just specifically for the videos?
Just for everything. Like I break it down into sections. I have stuff like music, skits. I started writing stuff for like help content or fashion or whatever. So if I just dedicated some time to filming, I'll go through the list and try to find stuff that inspires me. But there definitely is stuff where even if it's like pop culture related, I'll just think of it, or say like I did something about if a drill rapper made the theme song for the Barbie movie, like when that came out, right?
Yeah.
And then Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice had the Barbie World song that was already a drill track. So the idea is already halfway there. All I have to do is just write to it. So if that's the idea, I'll just go downstairs, because I record at home, just play the beat, I'll just write to it.
You're really self-sufficient. You record yourself, you edit all this stuff, you videotape it all yourself.
Yep.
Where'd that come from? Like the independence?
Necessity. I couldn't afford producers. I couldn't afford editors. So I just kind of just learned it all myself. That's why I don't really be feeling sorry for people when they say, oh, I want to do this, but I can't do X, Y, Z, bro. You can literally learn anything you want on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
Especially today, where now if you download something like CapCut, it'll do like half of the stuff for you. It'll split the clips up for you. It has the effects and transitions and stuff already there. You just drop it in. It'll auto caption it for you. There's not really an excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just probably just record it. I used to literally do everything the same day, like record it, film it, edit it, but I don't really do that now. I kind of time block it. Like say I'll pick 7 ideas for the week. I'll record all 7. and then I'll film all 7 on next day, and then I'll edit all 7 the next day, and then I'll put it out throughout the week.
Super efficient.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into a schedule to keep it less all over the place.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you pretty much are your own production house, right? So back to like that acting that you want to get into. Have you ever thought about like just creating your own show? Because essentially you already do that. It's just not all connected, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely something that me and my friends been talking about recently. I recently been, even in my skits, just to try to practice, I've been using like actual like film templates, like episode, what would I call it? Like script writing softwares to just write out my scripts, to kind of just get in that mode.
Yeah, that mode of thinking.
Yeah, of thinking. And that's definitely something that I want to do soon.
Yeah, I think you'd be dope because, like, I don't like to draw the comparisons too much, you know, but, like, you know, you look at like a Will Smith, you know.
It's definitely one of my
and stuff, right?
inspirations for sure. And then I like stuff like, even recently, like the Vince Staples show.
Yeah, I've seen
stuff
that.
like that.
Inspired
That's
me a
kind of
lot.
the angle of stuff that I would want to do, like Atlanta, Vince Staples show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Modern Family, like that.
Yeah, stuff with a
mockumentary,
comical
type of. Like, I would like doing stuff like that. And even a lot of my content, like in the future, is gonna be more reflected in that way. And yeah, it's definitely something that I want to do for sure.
Because that's one thing I never touched on either, like the comedy aspect of it, you know? And that's why I like a lot of your music, because it's stuff like, it's up-tempo, a lot of it, makes you kind of want to dance, but a lot of it is funny too, right? And I feel like music in its purest form should be like easily enjoyable, you know? Like
Exactly.
it should make you dance, it should make you move. Like, what are your thoughts on that, you know?
I completely agree. And I think rap kind of went through a wave over the last few years of everything was very like dark, whether it was the drill wave or even just really just sad, like the underwater type beats.
Exactly,
It's like really sad, really emo, like the fake emo, and everyone's sad and depressed. And so I definitely think that music in general, like music should be, there's definitely times for sad music for sure, but I think in general, like you're supposed to have fun and feel good listening to music.
Yeah, like high
and there's a lot
vibration.
of rappers that are funny. Like they're not making comedy rap, but their bars are funny. That's why even recently I've done a few like Cameron videos.
Okay.
And a lot of Cameron's bars are funny. Like they're bars, but they're funny. So you can still incorporate that and make it sound good. And I think that's the main thing that I try with my music content, where I do want it to be funny, but I want it to be good music. Like I don't want it to just be, like I don't want it to seem like it's just comedy music. And that's why it can stream. Like I have a song that came from a skit that has 1.3 million streams on Spotify.
That's amazing.
And like I barely promote it. It's just people just really liked it. And it's me doing a New York drill accent and a London accent.
Yeah,
I produced that myself. I get 100% of that, and it's just stuff like that. Or even Ice Cream Wine. Like, I found that beat off TikTok. I just made that song, and people just really liked it.
No, it's amazing, honestly. That you even that, like you said, you just stumble on some of that stuff, right? And how did, like, some of your accents are really good. That's just, once again, acting skills.
Acting skills, music, just my love for music.
Yeah.
And I think this city kind of helps with that because it's very multicultural.
Run into a little bit of this.
Yeah, you run into a lot. And even me, because I'm half African and half Jamaican, I'm around both sides. So I kind of, like, I could do the Jamaican accent that my mom's family does. I could do certain African or West African accents just because I'm kind of around that. But I also like Afrobeats music. I like dancehall music. I like Dominican bachata music. Or I like Brazilian funk music. So, you know, just I'm able to pick up on things quickly just through the stuff that I listen to and the stuff that I watch. Yeah,
it's a very unique, like, background, especially like you said, like musically. Like I noticed that you got a little bit of everything in you. So I want to ask you this too, to bring it back around to, you're saying the last few years the rap game has kind of veered off one way. And you know, even if you look right now at like the record sales and everything, it's on a decline, you know, as far as hip hop goes. And I think we had like a whole 365 days where not a single rap record was #1 on Billboard. And that hasn't happened in like over a decade, right? What do you think about like the current state of affair of the rap game? And do you think it's going to go more towards Afro beats and reggae and stuff like that, you know, like more ethnic music?
Like music in general or rap?
Yeah, just music in general, and like just like the state of like the game right now, and like what's the most popular music, you know?
Yeah, I definitely think the international stuff is definitely gonna it might take the lead. I think rap might stay number one, but in terms of numbers, I think the international stuff is definitely gonna be like the biggest market, even mainly just because like there's just more people. Like if you're just talking about like Spanish music or Latin music, look at how many Latin countries there are.
Yeah.
And look how crazy Bad Bunny's tours and Bad Bunny's numbers and stuff go. Look at
J Balvin,
Wizkid and Burna Boy and all the African people and European people that like that's their music. I think because North America's finally starting to accept it, they're seeing that, oh, these guys are big, but like they've been big the whole time.
Exactly, yeah.
Like you could stumble on African artists. Like there's this guy, what is his name? I think his name is Fally Ipupa, and he's Congolese. He's like a Congolese artist. And I can't remember, I think I heard his song in like a TikTok or something. I was like, yo, this is kind of hard. And I'll do that also. Like if I'm scrolling and I hear something, I'll download it automatically and then just go down a rabbit hole.
100%.
So I heard one of his songs. I was like, yo, let me check this guy. I've never heard of him. I go to his account and he has 4 million followers. So it's like, just like the Africans and the Spanish people, like they ride for their music. So I definitely think that's the wave it's gonna go. And I think it's particular because usually North America can kind of like jack styles and jack trends, but I think that like the international stuff, it's kind of hard to mimic or infuse. But they were trying. Remember, there was like a year when the like Afro beats, like rappers were trying to do Afro beat stuff, and rappers were trying to do dance halls.
The Mona Lisa track. I think that one's pretty new too. They're still trying, but like you said, it's hard for them to take over. Like, you know, they can't really take over.
I'll say
Afro
Chris
beats.
Brown has been tapped into that for a while.
Yeah.
So I'll give him his credit. He's definitely had some. He has tracks with London Mans and with Afrobeats artists, and he does it. I'd say he does it the best out of people that are like trying to do it. It's still not fully there, but like you could tell that he hangs around with those type of people.
It's not just like a one day thing.
Yeah.
He's trying to submerge himself in the culture.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Because I think Travis Scott's on the Water remix, like for Tyler.
So there you go. Yeah, he's like trying to get into it for sure.
They're trying. So I definitely think the market.
Do you think Afrobeats is a trend, or you think it's here to stay?
I think it's here to stay in terms of now that people know that the music's good, they're going to keep listening to it. I don't know if artists are always going to be trying to tap into that, because I think if it gets to a point where like you really can't do it, then they might just stop. But I think like there's been so much good Afrobeats music over the years. I don't see it stopping.
And what do you think is the stuff that's kind of like, I know you said with like beat selection and like, you know, the mood and the content, but like is there anything that you're seeing in hip hop that you're like, that's kind of killing hip hop? Like, I don't like that, you know, like, do you think that's holding it back?
I would only say just people trying to be the same. I think hip hop goes through those, well, it's kind of in every era. Just people really try to just do what works. And if it works, it works. But when it doesn't, I don't really like it, because I think in this age with social media, people they're just trying to hit a quick lick.
Yeah.
So it's like, boom, if drill music's working, I'm going to go make a drill track, and I'm going to wear a tech fleece and a shiesty mask and get 10 of my friends and talk about ops that like I don't have. Like, you're creating beef to have stuff to talk about in music. Like, that makes no sense to me. Or boom, Jersey club music's working now, so now I'm going to go make a Jersey track. But it's like, if that's not what you really want to do, it's not going to last, because once this trend is over, then what are you
left with?
Yeah, like, what are you left with? I think that's probably the main thing. If you like it, cool. Like, if that's what you originally have been doing. Because there's been dudes that have been making drill music and Jersey music for years and years and years, and they're finally starting to get some recognition. But if that's not really your wave, then it's only going to last so long.
Yeah, exactly. And you make beats too, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite type of beats to make right now?
Right now, probably like Jersey club. Or like UK drill.
It's fun. It's stuff that makes you move, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I like music that is upbeat, that makes you dance, that makes you move. Yeah. I remember I was telling my friend earlier how in 2016, and this is documented, it's on my YouTube channel, I made a shout out to Roy Woods. I made a remix of Drama, like a Jersey Club remix of Drama, and put it on my YouTube in 2016.
Okay.
And no one was trying to hear that back then, bro. I need to bring it back.
Yeah,
I need to
bring
drop
it back,
it
because
again.
that was a little ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was definitely ahead of its time. There's been a few moments like that where like we've done stuff and it was just ahead of its time. But it's like, I like that it's finally getting recognition and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Do you see anything that's like coming up? Like I heard you say something about Brazilian funk, or and just like, is there anything that you think's coming up like that'll be like the next one, like that you're like, yo, I'm already liking this, but no one knows about it yet, but I think it's gonna be big.
I think people are kind of still in the Jersey type of wave.
Yeah.
I don't think. Because I really want to give an answer, a prediction that we could go back to this and see.
Yeah, right.
The Brazilian funk stuff, it had a small moment. I don't know if it's gonna have a big moment because it is kind of, it's very niche. It would be hard for like a rapper to rap on a Brazilian funk. I'd say maybe Dembo, like Dominican music.
Yeah, I was just listening to some stuff earlier.
I think that might have a wave like how Afrobeats had it and dancehall had theirs, since like the Latin artists are starting to become pretty big.
Yeah, and I just like how raw it is. Like, you know, like they're coming from like the favelas and shit.
Yeah.
You know, it has a really good energy to it.
Yeah, and it makes you want to dance. And those people, they stay dancing, stay partying. It's really infectious. And
Yeah.
I think something's good because I think America and just North America in general, we're very like self-centered. Like if something sounds different than our music, we don't want to hear it. Or if it's a different language, we don't want to hear it. But if you can listen to a song and it's in a language that you do not understand and it's still a bop, like, you know that's a good song.
Yeah, but lately I just been wondering, I'm like, yo, am I like, well, what are they saying? You know, I'm like, yo, am I jamming to some fucked up shit? Like, you know, because especially when I'm really feeling it, and as we start like learning like the words almost in another language, I'm like, what the fuck am I even saying?
That's
you
a
know?
fact. And sometimes I've looked stuff up. I think there's a dude on TikTok that will like translate Bad Bunny songs, and the lyrics are pretty like elementary. Like they're not really saying nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But it's funny that it's still a bop. But also I think there's like cultural nuances and differences
That we don't quite get.
That we don't really get, where it's like they might be saying something that on paper it sounds very basic, but to them it might be hard because of just some stuff that we don't understand.
But like, do you think like because I know you make a lot of different music and stuff, and sometimes it's like there's a beauty in simplicity, right? Especially because you write a lot, and I know you must see that, right? Where it's like, you ever listen to some hip hop songs and people are just like overdoing it with like the big
lyrical
syllables.
miracle type of
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, you know, sometimes when I see the Spanish music, I'm like, it's almost like they have that little formula, you know?
Yeah. And I like it because, like the Dembo music, it's very repetitive. And I think, especially for party music, I feel like that's kind of what they want. Like people want something very simple. And those are the biggest songs. Like one of the biggest Dembo songs right now, the chorus is just, oh, na, 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 oh, na, na, oh, na, 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 oh, na, na. It's just boom, da, boom, da, boom, and that's the whole song, and people are jamming to the song.
Yeah, it's so fire. I love that song.
I get it. Yeah, that song is so hard.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot too. So, do you think that people overdoing it just becomes? Do you think it just comes from like the fact that, like you said, with rap, it's like, man, we've been trying to do it so many times. Everyone's trying to copy each other, so eventually they try to stand out, right? As opposed to a lot of this stuff that's international. I know every international artist is super unique. None of them are really copying each other, you know? So you think a lot of it comes from that?
Like overdoing it, like people trying to...
like trying so hard to be unique because your style is already copied from someone else and shit.
Yeah, I think it's tough because I'd say over here, because it's so... Like there's so much money in music.
Like materialism, or what do you mean? Or like actually you can make so much money?
Like you can make so much money that people kind of just want to follow the formula that works, to where if one guy from your city, he got famous doing this, okay, I'm going to do this too, because it's easier to do it that way than to really try to carve out your own lane and your own sound. And I don't think there's anything wrong, like I said before, with taking inspiration from people, but like directly copying, I don't know. But in terms of people like really like just the big syllable rap, I think I almost feel like when you start rapping, if you're really like just a hip hop pure, like you love hip hop, I feel like your first few songs are probably very rapidy rap.
Yeah, I heard your first song the other
syllable-ish.
day. Yeah, you like I uploaded my first one. It reminded me of my first songs too. Yeah, typically that's what we go for. You're trying so hard to be like, I can rap.
You want to just show that you can rap, and you're just trying to rhyme as many syllables and words as possible.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of just like how everyone starts out. And there's been a thing also going around where people say that all those really rapidy rappers, like when you break down what they say, like they're not really saying anything, like they're just putting a bunch of words together.
Yeah.
I do think that is also it can be, not always, because there's people like crazy rappers. It can also be a crutch to where like, yeah, like you don't really have anything to say, so I'm just gonna find every word that rhymes with this and just rhyme it to show my rhyming ability. So I think that's probably why people do that. Now there's some people that are amazing at it and it works for them. Like JID, he's crazy at like his whole verse is just like the exact same 4 syllables
rhyming and
it sounds crazy, but everybody can't do that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Even I'm sure how many of his songs are you gonna bump in a row before you're like, I gotta switch it up?
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's very niche where like there's certain stuff that you can't really play certain places, and even people like him, his biggest stuff like the surround soundtrack that just went crazy.
Yeah, I know that song. Yeah.
It's a pretty simple song. It's not really super rapidy rap.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure that JID would have never thought that girls would be taping their phones to the ceiling, twerking to one of his songs. He would have never thought that.
That wasn't the demographic he was going for.
It wasn't. And that song isn't new. Like that song was on like his last tape or like
it took a
1
while
or
to
2
blow up,
tapes
right?
ago. So I think that's funny how like the internet makes stuff like that just blow.
Yeah, especially TikTok. TikTok, like for the music, is crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I would say if you're an artist, and TikTok's kind of weird right now in this very moment, but like definitely TikTok might be just the easiest way to blow as an artist.
Yeah, well, what about that too? Because like I see a lot of people talking about how artists these days they're making songs that are really just for a 15-second clip, and the rest of the song is garbage. It's just they make sure they have a good 15-second clip in there somewhere, right? Do you think TikTok's kind of ruining the way that North Americans are making music?
I think they have a point. People that say that definitely do have a point because like the songs are getting shorter. People are making stuff specifically for TikTok. And then I think people that don't really want to do that, if they're on labels or whatever, their labels are telling them to make stuff for TikTok. And I don't necessarily agree with that because I think all music has its place. So I don't think you have to make a song for TikTok. I think you could just make your song, and then if you want to market it on TikTok, you could pull something from your song to put on TikTok. I don't think you have
short of a clip, right?
I don't think you have to make it for TikTok. And I do also understand how a lot of artists don't want to do the social media stuff. But like, I don't know, if you don't want to do it, then like find someone else to do it for you, like on your behalf or something. But I feel like it's necessary, especially if you're unsigned or you're just some kid in your basement. You could literally blow just off of one TikTok song going viral. So it definitely helps, but it hurts at the same time.
So you listen to a lot of music, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Who's your top 5 new artists like that came out in the past few years?
Past few years. Capella Gray.
Okay.
I think Capella Gray is so underrated. It's crazy slept on.
I never heard of it. It's a guy, girl?
The guy that sings Gallus.
Okay.
His catalog is crazy. Capella Gray is crazy. I've talked to him a few times. Like, and that's another thing. I'm like a student of the game, so I'm not afraid to message people. So like I'll hear certain stuff. I literally message him. I'm like, bro, how do you come up with your melodies? Like they sound so intricate. And he told me he listens to a lot of country music.
Okay.
And that's where he gets his melodies from. And I kind of get that. So,
that's a little gem right there, actually,
Yeah. So Capella Gray is crazy. There's a LA artist named One Take J.
Okay.
He's crazy too. There's a dude from Florida. I think he's from Miami, named Glock 9. I think he's in jail right now. That's why like he hasn't put out any new music, but I really like his stuff. Glock 9 is crazy. he hasn't dropped a bunch of stuff, but I like Boss Man D-Lo.
Yo, use your phone in the meantime.
Yeah. I like Boss Man D-Lo.
I feel like I heard of him.
He's the one. He has the song that's viral right now. I was bad as fucking school.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just listening to that on the way over here.
You're walking 11 slow. Yeah, shoot, 12.50. I just like
Sounds
music
just
that's
like him, huh?
fun, bro. I love music that's fun. So
yeah,
I like him, and maybe one more person.
Yeah, throw in one more.
Let me actually just check my like on repeat right now and see what I've been listening to, because I hate like when people ask me this type of stuff and then
you don't have it. Yeah,
I look and I'm like, I'll pick a dancehall artist. Valiant's crazy.
Yeah.
Valiant's crazy. Another LA rapper named 310 Baby.
Okay, yeah.
He has the Soak City song. Left, do it, right, do it. Look it up. Look it up. You've heard it. If you hear the song, you've heard it. I can tell from your face you don't know what I'm talking about, but you've definitely heard the song.
I was trying to play it off, but yeah, for sure if I hear it,
yeah,
you know, it's one of those ones like probably the beat take over and shit like that. But what's that first artist you were saying that they get the melodies from country music?
Capella Gray.
Capella Gray, yeah. So like with country and all that, do you think that's like on a super rise? Because like lately I've been noticing like there's so many fire country songs that are coming to the forefront. You like country music at all?
I haven't gotten into country yet.
Nah,
I haven't.
Like I low-key want to hear you make a rap verse on a country song type shit.
I could try. I'm not opposed to trying. I'll definitely try it. I think there's probably always been fire country music, but like we're just not really open to it. And I think for a long time there probably wasn't really a lot of black country artists that were at the forefront. So I think these days, especially with social media, like more people you might have a hit here or a hit there from like a black dude or a black woman making country music. So people are kind of like, like this is cool. But I do think a lot of people that listen to country music that are outside of the country music like realm are just really like music people like that want to take in different styles and different sounds. Because when he said that, when you listen to Gallus, if you just take the melody, it kind of does sound country-ish. I see her, he came with her nigga. Ooh, she gon' slide right to my side. I know he put a bit of it. Like that does sound country-ish. If you just did it in a country accent, it sounds country-ish. So I'm like, okay, I get it. But I'm pretty sure you guys could correct me if I'm wrong. I swear black people made country music, didn't
most forms of music.
Yeah.
Most forms of music.
So, and country music does sound kind of gospel-ish too. So I could see the correlation to how it all kind of just coincides and you could kind of pull from certain stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're going to wrap it up, but I just wanted to ask you if you have anything on the horizon that you see, like, you know, that you kind of want to manifest, you know, anything that you got coming up that, or just in the, like, you know, later on in the future down the road that you want to accomplish before it's all said and done type stuff.
Yeah, I definitely... Well, even just short-term goals. This year, I want to get a placement this year, like a major songwriting placement. Definitely working on that. In the future, next couple of years, I definitely want to get back into acting and television for sure. I would love for it to be my own stuff. Like, I definitely want to write stuff, but even just getting on something to just kick the door down, I would definitely love to do that too. And I want to be able to just provide an outlet for other people that are doing the same things that really might feel like they're hitting a glass ceiling, to just have the resources and the connections to be able to do what they want to do. Because especially growing up, it's hard when you're in a city where you feel like a lot of people don't do what you do, or you kind of just don't know the people that do what you do. Like, I was from Saga, or like I went to school in Saga and Brampton. There wasn't really a lot of people in entertainment from Saga or Brampton, and if they were, like, they're far removed because I'm a bit younger. Like, I don't know Party, I don't know Tori, I don't really, like, I know Jay and Trey, but like just in passing, like, we're not friends or nothing. So it's not like I really had a lot of people outside of just my main friend group who was really doing stuff. So I really want somehow, some way to like find a way to be able to just connect people. That's why I rate people like you, because like you messaged me like a long time ago and try to put me on with people and just talk to me and stuff.
Always.
So like I appreciate stuff like that because a lot of people don't, and a lot of people like kind of watch in silence. I appreciate guys like you, like T-Rex. Like T-Rex has really brought me around a lot of stuff.
Shout out to T-Rex.
Yeah,
good guy
just,
for sure.
Just stuff like I want to be able to do that for people that I see are really working hard and trying to do that as well.
Yeah, and I think the city needs more of it. And I think we're getting past that. For a long time, it was like the screw face thing, you know. But like I think like now a lot of guys are doing the creative thing, and now because we're not even like you're the first one at any point, right? A lot of things that people are doing now, it's like we're all breaking through. So the collaboration is a must, you know, because we're all interdependent. You know, you can't really do much by yourself. But
Yeah.
I mean, you do a lot by yourself. So it's funny that you say you want to give the kids like a route to it, because you could definitely open up a production house just off your own skills alone, let alone if you brought more people in.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, I definitely see all that as very attainable, very accomplishable. I wish you the best of luck in doing all of it, but I think for sure you got it all under control, like for sure.
Thank you. But like I said, like all the stuff I learned to do, I just learned to do it out of necessity. I didn't necessarily want to do everything that I'm doing, but it's like I had to. What am I? I'm not just gonna not do it.
Yeah.
Like, I was never one of those people, so I'm gonna learn.
You got to find a way, and I know you got a lot of tutorials out there for people like to do stuff too, right? Just like how you're doing it, right?
Yeah, I have some stuff on YouTube. I definitely should put more out because I think sometimes with tutorials you kind of get imposter syndrome. Like, why would anyone want to listen to me? But
Yeah.
I think, and that's a tip for some people that kind of feel like that too, because I know a lot of people even ask me about stuff like that, how they want to say they're doing fitness or whatever, and they want to drop videos, but they don't feel like they're an authority figure in that. I would say the way around it is, instead of telling people what to do, you could tell people what you did to get to that point. So
Major key. That's a major
so
key.
instead of saying like, here's how you gain 20 pounds of muscle, you can say, here's how I gained 20 pounds of muscle. Because no one can tell you you're lying if they're if you're telling them what you did and it worked for you. So
it's crazy how that little change in language could make all the difference in the world.
Definitely. A lot of, just in life, a lot of things could change with just a very small tweak. Things change for sure.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Well, man, I appreciate you for coming through. You're part of the Northern Ruckus family now. Anytime you want to come back, if you're ever dropping anything or anything like that, just come hop on the show.
I appreciate you for having me, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
Oh.
All right, guys. Peace.
Later.
There we go. Good episode down.
Yes, sir.